welcome to my channel. Let me adjust this camera here. We were doing big buoys earlier, so had to have the camera back. Now, as you remember with the Ontario survival knife here, the original design for this knife was submitted by Marbles, and they based it off of this, which is the Marbles Ideal hunting knife. And this knife has been around for a long time. Now this is a new version right here. It's the blade itself and everything is made in China, but the original Marbles Ideal hunting knife was made in 1901. All right, here's a 1908 Marbles catalog, and it shows the different, Marbles Ideal. They were leather stacked handles, but they also had a rubber handle on it also. It has a wide fuller, or some people call it blood groove. And then they also had, like folding safety knives like that. $3. $3 in 1908. And then here's some more of their pocket knives, Cost you $4 for a sunfish. Yeah. But this one here, the blade steel is 440A, and it's made in China. Here's the number, MR391. Now the sheath itself is pretty decent. I mean, it's stiff, it's reinforced to hold its shape. That's plastic or something in there, but it holds it pretty well. Nice belt loop. I just noticed this. I guess you can do a scout carry with it. I hadn't noticed that before. There's sorry, bumping that. There's a loop here that you can put it sideways. But yeah, this particular design of the knife, is kind of quite bouncing. We're having an earthquake here. It's almost timeless, It's been around for 120 years, 121, 2022, 1901. Yeah, you have a 6-inch blade here, 6-inch cutting edge. Nice choil, sharpening choil. Rubber handle. Says it's full tang in their listing of it. Yeah, don't overlook this knife. If you're thinking, I'd like to have you're on a budget, and you'd like to have a fixed blade they also call this kind of an all-around knife, because used for just a little bit of everything. This is a box it comes in. And he talks about the history of Marbles. Marbles was in Michigan. And here's all the stuff about Marbles. One of the first knives put into production in a Marbles factory. It was considered a modernized Bowie knife. Important feature of the Ideal was its thicker than average forged blades with hollow ground reliefs. This made for high strength, lightweight, and great balance. It was designed to be strong enough to split kindling or even dig holes. This Marbles modern Ideal knife combines all the important features of the original Ideal with a modern synthetic and ergonomic handle. So it's evolved, over the years, but still, this right here is a pretty good area for you to choke up on and hold the blade, for up close work and everything. It's got a fairly stout and thick tip here. Let's check the blade thickness. Let's see, like 4 millimeter probably. I don't know. That would be my guess. 5 millimeter. Yeah, so you got a pretty substantial thick blade here, and the balance is more where you'd want it, you know, like for throwing or whatever. Center balance. It's not really a chopper, although you can chop with it. This guy, because of that hammer hilt and everything, the balance is going to be way back here. So this one's hilt, you know, hilt heavy, and this other one is more naturally balanced, which means this one would be easier to throw. I haven't thrown it yet, but this one would be easier to throw routinely. The thing about a balanced knife is it's gonna throw complete circles if it's balanced in the center. If it's balanced back here, then it's gonna go more oval, you know, same way with forward heavy. But your arc, your throwing arc, is gonna be more of a circle if it's centered. I'm no expert on throwing knives. That's just what I figured out from throwing knives a lot as a kid and as an adult. That's something about it, you know. It's just fun to throw a knife and have it stick. It's not as much fun when it doesn't stick, but when it sticks, it's just that feeling like, great, oh, that was cool. You know, I mean, that's what I feel out of it. Yeah, you've got a nice handle here. It has a swell in it, which is really helpful. You have that little tip down part right here that helps keep you from going. You got a little built-in finger guard. Nothing on the top, no jimping on the top, but it's nice and flat. 90 degrees. Should be able to spark 4-inch handle. Yeah, so for the price, man, this one's $15 at Smoky, and I think it's like $13 or so on Chicago Knife Works. One of them doesn't have it right now. I think Chicago Knife Works didn't have it. I got this from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They sent me some stickers and stuff with it. I'll show you the stickers when I do the other knife that I got from them, because this will be the next thing I review. I got one of their tortoiseshells, and if you haven't heard, they've got this kind of shield, and they're in 440B, not 440A. See, I always thought 440A was good and 440C was good, but 440B I didn't have really any experience with. I'd never had a knife in 440B, and Smoky Mountain Knife Works recently did a thing on the 440 series knives, and they were talking about 440B, and they said 440B has a little higher carbon content than 440A. So I guess it is a, you know, a progression. Like 440A is like this kind of steel, and then B is a little bit better, and then C. Hopefully they'll get to 440C, because I love that. But the 440B I don't have a lot of experience with. This is 440A, according to what they have there. And here, let's take a little piece of paper. Yeah, it comes fairly sharp. I had a piece of paper lying around here somewhere, and I think I already shredded it. Here we go. Fresh, virgin piece of copy paper, computer paper. All right, here we go. That's pretty good for out of the box, man. I'm telling you. That's pretty good. A nice bevel on it. Consistent. They don't get too wonky with the angles like some do. Yeah, I'm impressed with this, man. Now, You'll see a lot of different versions of this ideal knife, you know. Some won't have this on here, and they won't even have China. It was like a made in America type blade. Other ones, it'll be this, but it'll have a leather stacked handle and, you know, a pommel and all that. Even got a lanyard hole, a little barrel. There's some gunk or something in there, you see that? It's magnetic, the blade's magnetic because it's sticking to that magnet over there. So yeah, overall, I'd say, you know, don't overlook these knives if you need something inexpensive but with a long history to it. And usually knives with a long history that are still in production means that it's a proven design, you know. It doesn't have to prove itself. It's proven itself over the years, before you were born, before I was born, you know. Yeah, they're made in China now, and but that still doesn't keep it from being a pretty decent blade. Yeah, if you look at the history of a lot of modern knife makers, you know, like Marbles and everything, they're still in production now. But what their big downfall was after the war, the market was flooded with fixed-bladed hunting knives about the same size, you know. And here they're trying to sell this, which was always a little bit higher quality. Marbles used to be, you know, higher quality knives and stuff. And Camillus underbid them, of course. And then after the war, there was a bunch of these on surplus, you know. So Marbles was really struggling after the war, and they finally folded, I think, in 1977. Eventually, they were rebought out, but they never really recovered from. If they would have gotten that contract, man, you know, for these knives and everything, it's like Tobias said too. It's not just price. It's how well they look at how well you can produce the knife, and I guess they just didn't have the production capabilities like these other places, you know. So, anyways, there you go. That's my little take on this knife. Here, you know, this guy, this is his granddaddy, even though this is a new one. This is the granddaddy to this guy. So, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.